Hello everyone, welcome to Pretty Pessimistic with me, Olivia Murphy. Today, we are going to be entertaining the wonderful world of conspiracy theories. Is it possible for something you've known to be true your entire life to change overnight with no explanation? And just when you think things are getting weird, unfortunately, they won't be getting any better. Why? Because you are about to receive a form of validation you have never sought or intended to receive. You are not alone in seeing the world change slightly around you more and more every day. Hundreds of thousands of people are experiencing this same existential dread you are at this very moment. But not everyone. Not everyone sees the changes. Why? Are we in a false reality? Alternate realities? Collective false memories? In today's video, things will get a little bit unnerving. Stay tuned for today's spine-chilling episode of Pretty Pessimistic with me, Olivia Murphy. In 2010, a paranormal researcher named Fiona Broome spoke about her detailed memories of the news footage that depicted the South African apartheid leader Nelson Mandela dying while he was incarcerated in 1990. She could vividly remember the announcement of his death, his funeral, even hundreds and thousands of mourners and memorials, and she wasn't alone. Many people remembered Mandela's death. There was only one problem. Mandela wasn't dead. Many people remembering something falsely is called the Mandela effect. There are examples of the Mandela effect all over the world. Widespread misremembering. Whether it is real, events, company logos, movie scenes, song lyrics, and so much more. Incorrectly remembering experiences happens often. You, me, everyone most likely have remembered something with skewed details. So many things happen to us every day. It makes sense that after years, things get blurry. But what about things that don't get fuzzy? Memories that are very clear. And not only you remember, but hundreds of thousands of people have the same memory as you do, with all the same details. But that memory is wrong. That's what happened to Fiona Broome. She remembered Mandela's death, and she wasn't alone in this either. Many people thought Mandela died in prison. They remembered seeing his funeral on TV even. At the time, Mandela hadn't even died yet. He was still alive, yet so many people remembered his death. Mandela didn't actually die until 2013. Nelson Mandela, the South African president, was released from prison in 1990. He lived a long 23 years between his assumed death and his actual death. Nelson Mandela died on December 5th of 2013 after a fight with pneumonia. The Mandela effect may seem like an impossible or incredible phenomenon, but it is very real. There are hundreds of examples of the Mandela effect, so many I could never list them all. But the real question is why? Why do large amounts of people have the exact same or very similar false memories? The causes of the Mandela effect are widely speculated. There are medical professionals who have given medical examples of reasons why the Mandela effect happens. One example is DRM task paradigm, Dies Roediger-McDermott paradigm. During DRM, the participants read lists of related words in a systematic manner. These words are systematically related. Here would be an example of systematically related words. After this, the researcher will ask whether or not the person participating can remember what they call a lure word. This would be a lure word. A related word, but a word that was not on the list. In most cases, the participant remembers the lure word because the lure word is related to the other words, so it seems like it belongs. So, does the mind just assume it was one of the words? For example, if you were to be given the words blackjack and bluebird in a list with many other words, but then you were asked if you were given the word blackbird, you may remember the word blackbird, but that is because you got blackjack and bluebird, and then you combined the black and the bird in each word, which makes your mind hear or remember blackbird, because both words were in the list. Another potential cause of the Mandela effect is confabulation. A confabulation is a false statement or retelling of an event without relevant evidence or factual support. Confabulations are basically false statements, but the person giving the statements believes them to be fact. Another psychological possibility is priming. When exposure to a stimulus directly influences someone's response to a subsequent stimulus. It is almost like being suggestive. If you say, "Did you see that pink butterfly?" or "Did you see that butterfly?" If you specify instead of being general, the influence on a memory can be stronger. Originally, I thought maybe there would be a psychological explanation that jumped out at me. One that I would find in my research of the Mandela effect and just know that was the answer. But to my surprise, there wasn't. After going through some of the proposed psychological theories behind the Mandela effect, I'm still left very unsure and confused. Do any of these really apply to the extreme amount of people that experience the Mandela effect? Not to mention the large amount of actual suggested Mandela effects themselves. They show ways specific people may react or how a few people, a small group reaction, but the amount of people who believed that Mandela died in prison, do the psychological theories apply? You tell me. What do you think? What are your thoughts? These psychological explanations, do they make sense for the Mandela effect? Let me know in the comments below. I am still confused. I think that it would make sense for like a few people, not for the extreme amount of people. If a medical psychological explanation is not the answer, then what is? Many people have come up with many different theories. Some a little outlandish, but others even as insane as they may sound to the unknowing human skeptical mind. But to some who understand, there is a lot to our world, our universe, and especially our own consciousness. The theories somehow make sense. Some of the more metaphysical theories include, but are definitely not limited to, time travel or the butterfly effect. There are even more theories that are literal, possible, and make some sense, like these big brands and companies change their logo themselves and don't say anything because they want publicity. They get when someone online realizes that they don't remember Target having an extra ring, or is Fruit Loops spelled F-R-U-I-T, or was it F-R-2 Fruit Loops and a T? This is literally free publicity. Why wouldn't they just go along with it? It gets their name and their brand circulated, even if it is because somebody can't remember what the logo used to look like. So there are a lot of speculations. The question is, well, what makes the most sense? What is the easiest to wrap our feeble human minds around? Why does the Mandela effect happen? One really great guess is string theory. Now, I'm not a scientific professional, but I am going to do my best to explain the string theory. The theoretical framework for the string theory explains the universe and everything in it as reality in terms of tiny strings that are vibrating in 10 dimensions. It deals a lot with the idea of multiple universes or the multiverse. The idea of the multiverse has theoretical physicists arguing about whether or not it is a scientific hypothesis or a philosophical speculation. Parallel universes on strings, alternate realities, the multiverse, all very large topics for us as humans with the small knowledge we have of how our universe works. Also, all very much speculation. The truth is, we don't know why the Mandela effect happens. It is happening right now all the time. We try to come up with possible theories, but until we know more about the universe and how could we really know? Even the woman who coined the term Mandela effect has theories that align with reality intersecting in possible parallel universes. The idea is that some way, somehow, our universe is crossing, mixing, or intersecting with another. As this happens, some things from the other universe stay in the other or swap, for example. Most people know about the children's book, The Berenstain Bears, but many people remember it spelled Berenstain instead of Berenstain. Therefore, since the company has not admitted to the name change, why do so many people firmly remember it spelled the other way, including myself? I remember Berenstain Bears. What about you? What do you remember? Please go ahead and click the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell because you need that to know when I post next. That would be great. And also share some love with the like button. She's lonely. She's always lonely. She needs love. The Mandela effect is one of many of the wondrous, unexplainable phenomenon that happens in the universe we live in. Whether it's caused by psychological factors or one or more of many of possible unexplainable reasons, one thing is certain. The Mandela effect has nothing to do with lies. The people who have memories of events, quotes, logos, and so many more, they believe these memories to be fact. And it is often very shocking when they realize what they remember isn't at all true. Then, even more anxiety-provoking when it's clear that you aren't alone in this incorrect memory, not by a long shot. Personally, I feel it almost creates a form of existential dread because of the extreme amount of fear of the what if, why, how, holy cow, how does this half the population remember Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father," not "I am your father." Why do we all remember Luke? Or what about Fruit of the Loom with the cornucopia? Oh yeah, there is no cornucopia, not anymore. You know, your friends, family, boyfriend, mom, brother, niece, you all remember. Occasionally, you'll find you remember it one way and someone you discuss it with remembers it another way. But don't think for a second that helps, because it doesn't. You only then wonder why you both have separate memories of the same event. And not by perspective either. It can be profoundly disconcerting. Although many people have given many theoretical causes for the Mandela effect, it may be impossible for anyone to ever really know what is really going on. Unless we somehow receive all the knowledge of the universe, which is pretty doubtful, we will never actually know. In my opinion, maybe that is for the best. In conclusion, the Mandela effect is a very strange phenomenon that we may never understand, but whether or not we can comprehend something does not dictate its existence, does it? Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love to know your opinion on the Mandela effect. Have you ever experienced the Mandela effect yourself? If so, how, what happened, also what Mandela effects have you heard of. I want to do a video on the actual Mandela effects themselves. What are some of the most shocking Mandela effects that you've ever heard of? I was thinking, if you want to be a part of my next video, then comment some of the best Mandela effects you've ever heard of, and I will use yours and credit you for the idea. Again, thank you to all of you pessimists out there who are here enjoying the strange phenomena and discussions those lead to. Remember, list your favorite Mandela effects below for a chance to be included in a video. And as always, a video suggestion link is below. Sub, like, and hit that notification bell, all the technical stuff, so you can get notified and you can join me and we can discuss all kinds of crazy stuff. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I love talking about the most pessimistic topics with you guys, so I can't wait to see you next time. Have a great week. Oh, and don't be afraid to click one of these videos right here next to, right here. Just click right there and watch another one. All right.